were never even members of the
Exactly.
Assembly.
Yes, in the eyes of the law. In the eyes of the law. One moment, Honorable. Let me bring into the conversation Mr. Gbenga calling in out of Abuja. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
To the Honorable. The issue of little lawmaker should not stir controversy. Though it's painful, somebody to see that the same law that applies to him that nullifies his election, an upper court upturn it and say no, it's not good that way. But at the same time, they should know that. Let's assume that the present governor is an APC governor, and there's not any governorship legal issue at Supreme Court. Wouldn't they have accepted their fate and move on? I mean, what I'm saying is that they should not cause any chaos or anarchy in Plateau State. The security there is very fragile. Let them accept what has happened. My suggestion is that the legislature now should look at how to amend their electoral act, that all election petitions should end at Supreme Court, if that would be. Because the judges of the appeal court are standing on their own ground, that on what basis this is why we find it in, but they call it the wisdom of the in their own wisdom. So if the now say because of to avoid this controversy again, let all cases end at Supreme Court. After Supreme Court, whatever anybody received there, that's the final. So they should not share any chaos in Plateau State. They should accept their fate as what has happened. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling in, thereby extending, shall I say, the hope of those who want to pursue it and who have the wherewithal to pursue it up to the Supreme Court. It's an idea that you are floating, but for the moment, it's an idea. What is on ground now is that they shouldn't really be heard of anymore, having been dispensed with, if that is the expression to use. The whole matter has been handled according to the law. It's the way these things are. It didn't just come into force. And on this case, it's always been that way. You can't go beyond the High Court. I mean, the Court of Appeal. But now, in saying that there is some implication that is favorable to them that can be derived from the Supreme Court judgment on the governor, which is from their party, having been sacked much earlier, I guess that is the one that beggars belief. And but I was just saying that, would you say a bit of a kudos to the police for, at least they showed quite vigorously that they were not going to permit the PDP, the PDP crowd PDP former legislators and their supporters from gaining access into the venue?
Honestly, I want to, especially with all intention and with the best of intention, commend the Nigerian police for the swift, action they took yesterday. Because if they were not there, with the caliber of talks they brought in yesterday,
I can imagine.
Happened.
God forbid.
Because, God forbid, honestly. So the police must be came at the right time. They ensure that there was no breakdown of law and order. And we must continue to, because that is their constitutional responsibility to ensure that there is no breakdown of law. And
I beg your pardon for interrupting you. It's because I want to squeeze in one more call, our last call, in fact, and it's Mr. Mohammed in Abuja. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. I listened to Mr. Arise TV this morning.
Okay.
They were asking the PDP members that is their case joined to the governor's case in Supreme Court. He said no. He said, why should you not take yourself to the House of Assembly, thinking that because you based on that Supreme Court judgment, that case is not joined by you. Your case ended in the Court of Appeal. So why are you trying now to cause problem? The man cannot say anything. The member from PDP that is interviewing Arise TV this morning cannot say anything. So why are people trying to cause problem, Uncle Yori? This matter is ended at Court of Appeal, and Indeed. That is the law. That is the INEC rules. The Constitution, that is what it said. INEC laws, that is what they said. that National Assembly members, House of Assembly members, their case ends in Court of Appeal. Their case is not joined with the governor and Supreme Court. So why are they trying to cause problem in Plateau?
Oh, well.
After all, Plateau is a center of agriculture. They should allow Plateau to exist so that we can have our agri-produce there, please.
Indeed. Well,
let's have our farmers to go back to the farm. Let them farm. Let us have peace in Plateau, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed, for calling in. We've just about run out of time. In fact, all we have time to do is to thank Honorable Nanlong Gapiel Daniel, APC member-elect, just waiting, being law-abiding and waiting for an invitation from the State House of Assembly so that the rest can follow. I want to thank you very much, sir, for coming on the program and giving us the benefit of your perspectives. Okay, so that's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello there, it's a brand new quarter and your favorite program, CAC Weekly, is about to unveil new innovations, fresh from the Nigerian Company Registry. Have you heard of the Extensible Business Reporting Language Standard for filing of electronic financial statements? Do you know that there's so much you can do on your own on the company's registration portal, CRP, from the comfort of your home or office? The CRP offers, amongst others, end-to-end electronic registration solution for accredited customers and the general public to initiate and complete pre-registration and post-registration applications electronically, online filing of annual return, online registration of limited liability partnership and limited partnership. See you there.
Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He began training as an amateur boxer at age 12, and at 18, he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics and turned professional later that year. In his early years as a professional, Clay was more highly regarded for his charm and personality than for his ring skills. He sought to raise public interest in his fights by reading childlike poetry and spouting self-descriptive phrases like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. On February 25, 1964, at age 22, he pulled off a major upset, defeating Sonny Liston to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That same year, he shocked the boxing establishment again by denouncing his birth name as a slave name and formally took the name Muhammad Ali, which was given to him by his spiritual mentor Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. For the next 3 years, Ali dominated the boxing arena. Then, on April 28, 1967, citing his religious beliefs, Ali refused induction into the U.S. Army at the height of the Vietnam War. Ali was stripped of his championship and precluded from fighting by every state athletic commission in the United States for 3.5 years. Ali's message of black pride and black resistance to white domination was on the cutting edge of the civil rights movement. In October 1970, Ali was allowed to return to boxing, but his skills had eroded. On March 8, 1971, he challenged Joe Frazier, who had become heavyweight champion during Ali's absence from the ring. It was a fight of historic proportions, billed as the fight of the century. Frazier won a unanimous 15-round decision. Following his loss to Frazier, Ali won 10 fights in a row, 8 of them against world-class opponents after defeating Norton in a rematch He fought Joe Frazier a second time and won a unanimous 12-round decision. Ali was the first fighter to win the World Heavyweight Championship on 3 separate occasions. He successfully defended his title 19 times. His place in boxing history as one of the greatest fighters ever is secure. His final record of 56 wins and 5 losses with 37 knockouts has been matched by others, but the quality of his opponent and the manner in which he dominated during his prime placed him on a plateau with boxing's immortals. Outside boxing, Ali attained success as a spoken word artist, releasing 2 studio albums, I Am the Greatest 1963 and The Adventures of Ali and His Gang vs. Mr. Tooth Decay 1976. Both albums received Grammy Award nominations. He also featured as an actor and writer, releasing 2 autobiographies. Muhammad Ali retired from boxing in 1981 and focused on his religion, philanthropy and activism. In 1984, he made public his diagnosis of Parkinson's syndrome, which some reports attributed to boxing-related injuries, though he and his specialist physicians disputed this. He remained an active public figure globally, but in his later years made fewer public appearances as his condition worsened and he was cared for by his family. Ali was chosen to light the Olympic flame at the start of the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. He died on June 3rd, 2016.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello and welcome to TVC Media News. We are staying with our coverage of the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Nigeria. Mr. Blinken is currently in Lagos, where he inaugurated the American Corner, Lekki. Now, it is an innovative and tech-enabled American space in Lagos to support youth innovation, entrepreneurship, and creativity. The technology hub supports the Biden administration's U.S. strategy toward sub-Saharan Africa's goal to drive digital transformation and foster an inclusive digital ecosystem. He was accompanied by the Minister of Communications, Innovation, and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, and other U.S. government officials. This is the second day the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, will be spending in Nigeria as part of his tour to West Africa.
They ranged from food security to agriculture, to pharmaceuticals, to security itself in the region. And I have to say that the discussions were very fruitful, and the decision was also made that a number of these issues would be further discussed.
American entrepreneurs, American companies are eager to partner with and invest in Nigeria's economy, particularly in the tech sector. We have tech giants that are teamed up with Nigerian partners to help meet President Tinubu's 1 million digital jobs initiative. Other companies are hard at work laying undersea cables, using satellite technology to expand access to the internet. Our tech incubators are fostering Nigeria's next startups. Our venture capital companies are working to finance them. So we want to work in partnership to help drive Nigeria's technological revolution, which is creating jobs, it's growing businesses, and it's spurring innovations in both of our countries.
Before his arrival in Lagos last night, Mr. Blinken visited President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa, where he assured of the U.S. company's readiness to partner with and invest in Nigerian economy. He says tech giants have teamed up with Nigerian partners to help meet President Bola Tinubu's 1 million digital jobs initiative. Now, after his meeting with the president, he held a joint press briefing with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga. The United States Secretary of State assured that the U.S. is committed to strengthening genuine partnership with African countries. He acknowledged the need to accelerate economic growth, among others. Mr. Blinken is expected to leave Nigeria later today en route Angola, which is his last stop in his 4-nation tour. Let's turn attention to the court now. Former Governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, has pleaded not guilty to 9-count charge of fraud and money laundering. The former governor was arraigned by the federal government over an alleged 4 billion naira fraud. The court adopted administrative bail conditions granted to the former governor by the EFCC. The court also added that the former governor cannot travel outside Abuja, and the court registrar should inform the Nigerian Immigration Service that the defendant's passport is with the court. The EFCC had admitted Mr. Obiano to an administrative bail where he presented 2 directors of the Federal Civil Service as sureties and also deposited his passport with them. Away from Abuja to Plateau State, where efforts are ongoing to restore peace in Mangu local government, as the governor, Caleb Mutfwang, imposed a 24-hour curfew following a clash between some herders and native, resulting in killings and the burning of houses and property. Funam Joshua reports.
Residents of Mangu town in the Mangu Council area of Plateau State woke up to another sad news of killings and burning of properties following an alleged misunderstanding between some cattle rearers and a native. A 24-hour curfew imposed in the state by the state governor is fully active. Motorists plying the high